What's good? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stream today, Thursday, where we will get a 3-day close in an hour and 30 minutes on BTC and across the board. Please smash that like button right now so we don't have to get into that in the middle of the stream. So just get that out of the way immediately, please. I do these shows for free. Costs you nothing just to hit that thumbs up button, so just help me out with that. BTC today, it's down 0.4%, just not moving much today, not much volatility in the crypto markets, with the exception of Bitcoin dominance going for multi-year highs today, hitting 59%. Just at one point it was less than 1% for going into 60% Bitcoin dominance, which is quite crazy to be honest. But let's see the charts. BTC, as we said, flat today. Not much volume on Coinbase today, just a small correction, down 0.4%. Still printing strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram, still above 60 points on the RSI, so still in the bulls control zone, on the buyers control zone on the oscillators. So everything's fine on BTC here. Just a small correction locally. Still broken out of, still against resistance that we said yesterday. You're selling off against 67.5k once again. Look at this. Acting as resistance once again, and we wonder for how long it's gonna prolong the breakout. You'll see here 67.5k. This the highest daily candle close of the previous cycle. It's what is currently selling you off on BTC. But everything's good, you know. As long as you don't come back down under the 200 moving average, as long as you don't lose 63 to 64k, and you start taking out this low, then I think you gotta lean towards the bullish side of things. You're broken out of the channel on both versions of the channel, in my opinion. So there isn't much to be worried about, in my opinion, chat. I think you're cool. I think you're just and the thing is that I don't think that the timeline is that bullish if you compare it to what we were doing here and what we were doing here. I checked the Fear and Greed Index just before coming live, and it was at around, I think, 71 points. So it's on greed. You know, I think it's on extreme greed. Above 70s, it's extreme greed, but extreme greed goes all the way up to 100. So you certainly have been above 90 on extreme greed. So it's not like you'll sell off. And here this was like 74 greed, this was like 75 extreme greed. So you're on lower levels of greediness regarding this previous swing highs. So having that said, I think you're fine. Just be patient, you know. I know that a lot of altcoins have been doing nothing or have been trading, been selling off today. For example, Solana is down like 2%, while BTC is just sniffing, you know. And I think that's related to the whole Bitcoin dominance thing. Let's go to the 3-day, because that's the main thing today, and I'm guessing that's why you're live here tonight. It's because of the 3-day close, which will be confirmed under an hour and 30 minutes. And why do I pay such attention to this time frame? Well, you do know, because of the accumulation setup on the MACD histogram. But the 3 days going for the highest 3-day close since July 26, taking out both of this 3-day closes today outside of the descending long-term range. So this is the first 3-day close outside of these descending range. So that gives me even more confidence on the current conditions. You're up almost 1.9% on the 3-day, but let's go into the oscillators. On the RSI, you're at 60 to the dot. You're 60 points on the RSI here, entering the buyer's control zone, and the highest reading here on the RSI since May of this year, Chad. So look at that. You're going for the highest readings on the RSI on the 3-day since May. So multi-month readings for the RSI on the 3-day time frame, and also you're entering the bullish control zone on this major time frame, a zone that you rejected a bunch of times here in the past, September, also July. This impulses you were not able to get into the bullish control zone, and now you finally are at it again. As I said, something that you have not seen in almost 5 months. So that's the first good development. The second one, and the most important one, the one that we've been paying attention to, it's this triple bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. Finally playing out, started printing strong green positive momentum, and then it kind of sold off a little bit going into October, but now again printing strong positive momo here from this valley, which makes me talk about this setup. You do know about this setup because I talk about it a lot. It's one of my favorite chart patterns. I'm gonna draw it here so we have more space. So whenever that you have price doing something like this, for example, going upwards, it puts a high, then another lower high, then a slightly lower low regarding this low, and then another lower high, you are at a 3 falling peaks classic distribution pattern. All right, so that's a distribution pattern. That's some traditional technical analysis. This pattern represents less market participants than before, distribution, change of hands, whatever, how you want to call it. And this is your breakout line of this. No, my bad. This is the breakout line here of your of this distribution pattern. So this is for now, to what you're seeing here, is an unconfirmed distribution pattern. But once price comes back down and takes out this breakout line right here, you confirm the distribution and you can potentially go straight into the target, or potentially get a throwback and then get the play out of the distribution. Okay, so this is the 3 falling peaks classic distribution pattern. If you invert it here, hold on. If you invert it, it's a 3 rising valleys accumulation pattern, which is a reversal pattern. It's quite the opposite to the 3 falling peaks. It means accumulation, more people than before going into the trade. This is your breakout line on the higher high regarding this, regarding the first high here, breakout line. And then again, you could have the performance right away of the pattern, or you could come back for a throwback, fall below the breakout line, and then go ultimately for the performance. If you remember here, this pattern, the measure move for it, the target, the technical target, it's you go from the first low all the way up to the breakout line, and then from the breakout line into the above will be a 4.8%, an 8.4, my bad, chat, an 8.4% target. So that would be the measure move for this accumulation schematic. So why am I telling you all this? It's because this pattern that you can appreciate on charts, on price action, you can also see it on the histogram. There isn't that much people who try to find patterns on the histogram. Myself personally, I do look for them. I look for inverse head and shoulders. For example, you have one here, left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. You have another one here, left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and so on. You can find reversal, 3 falling peaks also, and 3 rising valleys. So having that out of the window, you do have a 3 rising valleys here pattern, which got confirmed. That's been developing over the course of 6 months since April. You have this low, a high, then a higher low, then a higher high, then a higher low, and then your breakout line here, which got confirmed here on this price action. But then you got the throwback that I was talking about, and now again, chat, what is going on? You're reconfirming the breakout of the breakout line of this long-term accumulation pattern. This is an accumulation of positive momentum. If this actually continues to play out, which I think we have the probabilities on our side for playing out, I think that the chances and the odds are in favor of this chart building a lot of positive momentum here, which would imply basically BTC ripping to the upside. A lot of positive momentum coming into BTC on a 3-day time frame, which I'll suspect it'll take months to play out. So if we go for the measure move here, okay, I'm gonna do it this way since some positive momentum. So you go from the low all the way up to the breakout line. It's here. It's not even there. You get all-time highs of positive momentum here as a target for the MACD histogram. So you did have a throwback. You already know what Charles Bukowski says about throwbacks. It tends to hurt the performance of the pattern, but nonetheless, it could still play out and had a great performance. Or maybe it doesn't hurt it whatsoever. You know, it's just on a statistical matter when you get throwbacks. Usually the performance is not as good as the basically the charts which don't get the throwback, which basically leads me into show you guys USDT dominance. And why? Because USDT dominance has the exact same setup by inverted. You know, it has the 3 falling peaks distribution of positive momentum, and it doesn't have the throwback. Let's go into USDT dominance. So I'm gonna check out USDT dominance on the daily here. So on the daily, it's up 0.7%, going for a bullish engulfing candle. Sadly, you're reacting here at this potential support at 5.2%. This inflection zone from the previous cycle from 2021 throughout 2022, you'll see how it was regarded as resistance and a strong inflection zone. Every time that you came up here, you sold off strongly. And it also has been regarded as resistance this cycle around and a support on late September and now again potentially. So also you have the 200 moving average curling up. So it's somewhat of a decision time for USDT dominance, whether it's going to reclaim the ascending channel or it's going to continue trending lower. So you do have a bullish engulfing candle, but a bullish engulfing doesn't mean anything by itself. You need follow through. You will need tomorrow to print another green candle to confirm the validity of this engulfing and not just call it an isolated event. So getting the daily out of the way, you're printing strong negative momentum still in the MACD histogram. Bearish control zone, 38 points. So oscillators looks poised for a strong move to the downside still on USDT dominance. The only thing that could give you somewhat of a scare is this potential equal low to the low of late September at this historic inflection zone. So going to a 3-day and following up my thesis on the distribution and the basically the pattern on the MACD histogram, the 3 days actually red 2 is down 0.3%, going for the lowest 3-day close since September 27. But going into the MACD histogram, look at this chat. You have the triple bearish divergence, of course, and the 3 falling peaks distribution pattern, right? Now you have your breakout line here. So you have your breakout line here, and look at this chat. When I was talking about throwbacks, you didn't have the throwback on the MACD histogram. I'm gonna flip this. You'll see it's the exact same thing as Bitcoin. As Bitcoin on the 3-day on the MACD histogram. Triple bullish divergence, potential accumulation of positive momentum. Of course, if this was inverted, breakout line broke above it, had somewhat of a small pullback, but not enough to be a throwback, not enough to come back below the breakout line here. So that itself gives me more confidence on the setup on Bitcoin. Although Bitcoin does have the throwback, USDT dominance does not. So that's quite bullish for the crypto asset class. And we said this on the previous 3-day close here on, I think it closed on Monday. We said, I'm gonna go live on Thursday. We're gonna study a 3-day close. If it's gonna be an isolated event, just an isolated 3-day bar, you know, strong negative momentum, well, then maybe you can write it off that this will continue losing its negative momentum, you know. But printing stronger and stronger negative momentum once again. So that gives me confidence. Hopefully start to see something like this, you know, on the following weeks and months. So that was the show for today, Chad. I don't have anything else to say. I'm joking. So I think that was one of the most important things going on today on crypto. There's 3-day setups on Bitcoin and Btc.D dominance. The 3-day just looks really good for continuation to the downside. Let's just hope that this long-term distribution of positive momentum keeps playing out and finally bring us to the measure move target into all-time lows of negative Momo. I think the target for this one is also all-time lows. If you go from here to the breakout line, then from the breakout line, yeah, not quite all-time lows, but negative, like the strongest negative momentum seen on the 3-day since January of last year. That will be your measure move target for USDT dominance here on this distribution. And I'll remember you guys one more time. This doesn't have the throwback, so the performance should not be diminished. Okay? All right, let's go into the big elephant in the room today, which is Bitcoin dominance for sure. Reach multi-year highs. It's been reaching multi-year highs for the past 3 days, I think. Each daily candle close has been like the highest daily candle close since April 2021. Something like that. Let's see. Yeah, so since April 1st, 2021, highest daily candle close on Bitcoin dominance. You're going for the 4th green candle in a row. You're about to reach overbought on the RSI here at the 69-point dip in the bullish control zone, printing strong positive momentum here on the MACD histogram. Bollinger Bands, you're getting consecutive daily candle close outside of the bands. This is quite a strong indication, Chad, here. This is when you get consecutive daily candle closes outside of the bands. It's some more often than not, it's a sign of strength. Let's see the 3-day. So the 3-day is going for a massive Marubasu candle outside of the bands here, Chad. Insane. It's going for the highest 3-day close since, let's see, will it be March, Chad? Will it be March 2021? Hold on, this mouse is giving me somewhat of a... Okay, so your highest 3-day close will be confirmed since March 29, 2021 on Bitcoin dominance, chat, in just an hour and 13 minutes. So maybe this one's entering the expansion moment here. Hopefully plays out somewhat like the previous cycle, you know, that BTC just goes up ripping, you know, breaks out. And that's when you get the final expansion on Bitcoin dominance and ultimately tops at around 60 to 63% here. You have a big cluster of resistance. But I've been telling you guys about the setup here on Bitcoin dominance on the monthly too. So that's a little bit concerning, not gonna lie. Monthly on the Bitcoin dominance, like highest readings on the RSI ever. So yeah, let's see the MACD. So you're printing hold on, chat. Okay, printing positive momentum here in the MACD histogram. First positive Momo since September 18. Oh my god, 67 on the RSI on the 3-day time frame. So highest reading on the RSI since April 7, chat, for Bitcoin dominance. Man, looks like it wants to cook. Well, hopefully it's to the upside. quite the obnoxious long-term uptrend on Bitcoin dominance here. So yeah, I think you could overshoot 60 a little bit, maybe, given the fact of the monthly setup here. Look at how the monthly looks. $67 on the monthly here, chat. Bullish control zone. So the concerning thing about this is that if you get a pullback, for example, since you're on the bullish control zone on the monthly, if you get a pullback on the monthly and then you get a bounce, this will be a strong bounce. This could give you another push into fresh highs, you know? It's not the same to get like a bounce down here. You know, it's not the same price action that get a bounce here. Usually when you get a bounce on the bullish control zone, it more often than not will push you into fresh highs, you know, into another higher high. So that's the concerning thing about Bitcoin dominance on the monthly, man. That's way elevated into all-time highs on the RSI. So makes you think that altcoin season will never come, you know, since you have this retarded uptrend on the RSI here, man. So yeah, that's your Bitcoin dominance. Let's go see Ethereum. Ethereum, it's flipping green today, chat. Hype in the chat for Ethereum. Outperforming both BTC and Solana today. Quite the nothing burger candle here, although it's not much to say. Still chopping below the break, the neckline here for this inverted and shoulders, above 3,500. Next logical target will be 3K. Building strong positive momentum in the MACD histogram, just 1 point shy from the bullish control zone on the RSI. What's good, Timo? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, Ethereum's looking somewhat good, man, here. The fact that you're a little bit below the bullish control zone could be good, you know. It's just a small push into above 60, into, you know, monthly highs. Like basically highs on the RSI that you have not seen since June could be really bullish for ETH. But let's see the 3-day, because why not? So 3 days pretty flat. You're printing strong positive Momo nonetheless on the MACD histogram. You're at the 52 on the RSI, so you're neutral here on the 3-day, but you're indeed below the 200 moving average here on the 3-day time frame. You had a bearish retest on September 27, but it didn't push you into fresh lows. So we're gonna have to be patient here, chat, and wait for the play out of this inverted head and shoulders. We do know that we have a gap here on CME futures for ETH that potentially will get filled, and eventually on the daily we'll get a test to 200 moving average. I think that's coming. I think that indeed it's coming, man. Let's see ETH BTC, bro. The 3-day close. You're actually green today. You're up 0.3%. So you had a bearish engulfing on Tuesday, follow through yesterday, but now you're green today. Just traders here and market participants are fighting really hard to determine whether will this be a higher low regarding this low from September 18 or not. That's the real question here, chat. You gotta give me a higher low on ETH BTC before getting any kind of excited about ETH BTC. That's the thing. Let's see the 3-day. Yikes. So 3-day is not the best here, chat. It's doing somewhat like what Bitcoin dominance is doing, you know. It's going for a bearish engulfing candle, and your lowest 3-day close Let's see. Lowest 3-day close since April 10, 2021, chat, on ETH BTC. So let's pray, chat, that this bearish engulfing candle, which will be confirmed in an hour, will not catch any follow through to the downside. But it's not looking great. You're losing that positive momentum on the MACD histogram. You're still in the bearish control zone on the RSI here. You're at 36. And you know that any pullbacks here on the seller's control area will be a strong one, because you're in the seller's control area, you know. That's simple as that. Anytime that you get a pullback here on the bullish control zone, this could be a run into all-time highs, into higher highs. You know, this could be that. And any pullback here, for example, this could imply fresh lows for Bitcoin dominance, because bounces are stronger regarding the area that you are on Bitcoin on the RSI, man, here. And this is the 3-day time frame. This is like a no kidding time frame. You know, this is a significant time frame, which I would not disregard. So sadly, we need more work to be done on ETH BTC and Bitcoin dominance. We do know that we have this long-term potential inflection zone at 36 to 3,700 sats here. This is somewhat like your 60. I feel like this is your 60% area on Bitcoin dominance, but this one, it's on ETH BTC. So maybe, you know, because market participants love some kind of jittery, you do something like that, you know, maybe you overshoot and then you create a reversal. But usually, you know, when we have a downtrend like this, you know, I mean, and if you zoom out, you could argue that this is just a lower high regarding this major impulse. Usually, if I see a chart like this and I know this is crypto, I would think that this could take some time, you know, to maybe create a base and then continue higher. Like if this was BTC, I would expect something like this, right, chat? Does not like make sense to you? But on the flip side of the coin, you've been downtrending with no significant like pullbacks or squeezes for more than 2 years now, since September 2022, since the merge of ETH, since basically Ethereum moving from proof of work to proof of stake. So I could see some spikes here for sure, maybe something like that, you know. But if I didn't know the ticker and I knew this was crypto, I would think that this has a lot of work to do, man. And you know why? You know why do I think that, chat, sadly? It's because this chart reminds me of the 2017 through 2020 cycle on BTC. I know it sounds funny to you, but this is somewhat like what I'm seeing here, chat. You know? You had your first spike, you know, blow off top. This is ETH BTC in 2017, you know, and this is 2021, 2022, 23, 24, right? Like a slow bleed, you know. Maybe we're here, maybe we carve out a base down here, and then you go, ignoring COVID. This was a black swan event, but look at how much time it took you, you know, since finishing the downtrend. It took you at around, like, I don't know, like a full year before creating a base and reversing. So that's what kind of, I don't know, feels a little bit off, to be honest, about ETH BTC, because I look at it and I see this, you know. I see a blow off top, then a capitulation low, and then a lower high, like a mid-cycle lower high. But I could be wrong, you know. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm betting that I'm wrong, you know. But if you zoom out, it doesn't look so crazy, right? You get a blow off top, you know. then a mid-cycle bear market rally, if you could say so, then a long-term distribution, and then we're missing that whole area of creating the base before heading into fresh highs. If this was like an organic chart, this would look like this, like to end of 2026. But I'm not even gonna entertain that scenario, Chad, because I'm not here to wait until 2026, 2027 before a bull market on ETH BTC. I'm just gonna abide to the staircase down, elevator up kind of scenario, hopefully, and I'm gonna submit to a theory that BTC dominance will top once Bitcoin is running above 80 to 90k, and then altcoin season will come swiftly after. All right. So that's ETH BTC. Let's go see Solana. Solana being drastically outperformed today, both by Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's something that you don't see quite often. Do we have something here, chat? You could argue you do. Potentially bad harmonic. But why not? But Ethereum, Solana's down 2.1%, falling below the 200 moving average once again, and this could start to look like another lower high regarding the previous high, and you get the point. Just somewhat of a distribution type of schematic here, sadly, which doesn't make any sense to me, but the market doesn't have to make sense all of the times. Solana's been a strong market leader. I would expect to see Solana's strength when Bitcoin's trading at 67k, although it's not showing the strength. This was the two previous impulses on BTC. Solana almost reached $200, on both of them, and now it's just lagging and being outperformed by Ethereum. So maybe we'll get a change of dynamics in the market, and maybe things will rotate into ETH or BNB. Who knows? But those kind of changes makes me a little bit nervous, because I would like to see Solana's strength here, chat. I'm not gonna lie, I would like to see things don't change. If I see BTC strength, I want to see Solana's strength. And yeah, that's the thing. When you start like showing me weakness on the market leader, somewhat distributive with lower highs and whatnot. But either way, Solana looks good. You've been reacting from this 122 area a bunch of times. You're above $144, which is this complacency shoulder from 2022. So everything's fine. It just could be some local choppiness, if you could say so. You do have an inverse head and shoulders here, potential setup if you ignore the wick, the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder, and your neckline will be just here, like right there. So maybe you're doing the old shenanigans that you do something like that, and then you break out. We've seen that before. We actually have seen it here on this year, for example. An unrelated ticker, but DXY actually did something like that right here. So you have the left shoulder, then the head, and the right shoulder. You came into a neckline, failed to break the neckline, and then went into a higher high regarding the right shoulder, and then ultimately came back down into the neckline, broke down, bearish retest, and then performed the inverse head and shoulders. So maybe that's what Solana's somewhat doing here. Left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, then maybe a low that takes out the right shoulder, and then ultimately you get the breakout of the neckline here into fresh highs. So that's possible. Let's see Sol BTC, because Sol BTC was looking heavy yesterday. Today is down 1.9%. Wow, chat. Sadly, catching follow through to this bearish retest of the 200 moving average. Look at that, chat. that bearish engulfing candle on Tuesday, follow through yesterday, and now going for the lowest daily candle close since September 18. Before following up on Sol BTC, I want to look at Solana on the 3-day because I don't think I did. Okay, so as you can see, the 3-day here in Solana, it's fine. You know, it's not going for a bearish engulfing candle or whatsoever. You're losing positive momentum on the MACD histogram, and you're at 50 on the RSI, so you're neutral on the oscillators. It's not much to be worried about as long as you're above 144 and that you don't break structure here of this potential reversal pattern. Okay, back to Sol BTC. So yeah, on the daily, you're going here for the lowest daily candle close since September 18, the day of the rate cuts, chat. This was the FOMC day that the Fed announced rate cuts, and we had that good price action across the risk market asset class. But look at this, chat. Like this bearish retest to 200 moving average having confluence to 23.8K. 23.8K is not a level that I invented myself. Just a pretty discernible inflection zone that you can see from 2021 throughout 2022. Major impulses come from the test of this level, both to the upside and to the downside. You can see here you went to a lower low, and here when you lost it and had a bearish retest, you just collapsed. So 23.8K set area, it's not a joke here, and you rejected it to a T on Tuesday, plus the third bearish retest to a 200 moving average. Because there's one thing to fall below the 200 moving average, then reclaim it and continue trending higher. But it's a different thing to test the 200 moving average from a bearish perspective 3 freaking times, chat. 3 times now. That can be good. This is not like a good looking chart right now. So that's why I was like complaining before that I don't like to see changes in that regard. Like if I see a strong BTC, give me a strong Solana, because it's been the meta and the like basically the index since 2023. So yeah, 40 points on the RSI, still neutral, printing strong negative momentum on the MACD histogram. Actually, your strongest negative momentum on Sol BTC since September 18 too. So lowest daily candle close and strongest negative Momo since September 18. Just the day of the rate cuts, and catching follow through out of that bearish retest to 200 moving average. Man, bearish retest to 200 moving average usually have consequences on Solana. Look at here, and here, and here. Like every time that you had a bearish retest, you had a significant drawdown. Not saying it's gonna happen this time, but I wouldn't take it for granted, chat. I most definitely would not, especially after 3 tests to it. So hopefully this is just nothing burger, but I cannot look away from that, you know, and don't comment on it. It's just too important in my opinion. The 3-day. Printing strong negative momentum once again on the MACD histogram. Look at this, you know. Look at the performance from the entire reset of negative momentum. Is just nothing, you know, just one positive bar. 43 on the RSI, so you're good still. But I get the, yeah, look at the Bollinger Bands, man. Here you're quite compressed. Man, I don't want to see this break down. This is the thing too. I talked about this yesterday, I think. This is the weekly on Sol BTC. This is your moving average of the Bollinger Bands while you're quite compressed. You're as compressed, I think, as last year, as of September and October 2023, and also as compressed as 2021 here. I'll show you if you don't believe me here, chat. Look at the compression here. As compressed as October 2022, actually. Like you're as compressed as here on the Bollinger Band width. Sadly, you're putting stronger negative momentum once again on the MACD histogram on the weekly time frame. This can change. Hopefully it changes from here to Sunday. But if price stays the same, you're printing strong negative momentum once again. And in a scenario that you could hopefully start to lose that negative momentum and flip green once again. Because you do have a potential inverse head and shoulder set up here on the weekly for Sol BTC, man. But if they take out this head here, then the whole reversal pattern will be invalidated, and it will actually imply that Sol BTC is just that Solana is getting destroyed against Bitcoin. So not quite hype in the chat for this one. All right. Let's go see BTC against the SPX. It's down 0.4% after this bearish retest to 200 moving average. A moving average that you have not touched since August 2nd. And you confirmed the breakout out of this inverse head and shoulders. It's quite clear here, chat, you know? I would argue it's even lower. It's like right there. So you confirmed the breakout out of this inverse head and shoulders reversal pattern for BTC against the SPX. But today you're not catching any fall through from that breakout. You sold off into a 200 moving average, but that's fine. Maybe you chop down here for a little while and then try it for another go. But printing strong positive Momo again on the MACD histogram. 63 is still on the buyer's control zone on the daily. Let's see a 3-day. So as you can see, a 3-day here is failing to get that breakout above the neckline of this reversal pattern on Bitcoin against the SPX. But on the bright side of things, you're putting strong positive momentum once again on the MACD histogram. You're at the 56 points on the RSI, so you're neutral still. But hopefully this is just a clue or potentially a hint to what's to come here on BTC against the SPX. All right. Stay optimistic, chat. And also, I'm going to show you this, chat. That's for sure. So this is the first time that on the 3-day, you're pushing the Bollinger Bands to the upside since you've been ranging here since March. Since basically March 10 that you went on this massive expansion of the Bollinger Bands here, you know. It was quite different last year on October. You had a strong compression of volatility on the Bollinger Bands, you know, that ultimately led you to an instant breakout, you know. Look at that expansion to the upside, and then you continued grinding towards the upper side of the bands for weeks, and then you sold off on the ETF news. You came back down into the lower band here, compressed again, boom, another expansion to the upside. So this time around, you're not as compressed on the 3-day time frame because you've been ranging here, just chopping from 70k to 50k, 70k to 50k. That's why this Bollinger Band is not as compressed. But I'm telling you that, chat, this is the first time that the Bollinger Bands are curling to the upside here with price action being really close to the upper side of the bands since March. So maybe that's another sign in the stars for what's to come here, and we're gonna have a lot of fun looking at charts. All right, chat. So I went throughout majors and through my main thesis for the 3-day time frame, you know, which will be closing in 47 minutes. I'm gonna start to look at some altcoins that might be looking good. If you have any requests, I think it's now or never, chat, that you let me know if you want me to look at anything. First thing first, we're gonna take a look at Doge. Doge is up today 2.5%, going against the 200 moving average, something that you have not seen since July 29. Building strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram. 69, almost 70 points on the RSI. You're flirting with the 70-point level on the RSI. So you're flirting with being overbought locally here on Doge against USD. And the thing is here, chat, I'm going to show you. You do have a 3 rising valleys pattern. You have your first low here, your second low with a high here, then a higher high, which is your breakout line, and then your third low, and you're pushing against the breakout line here to actually see if we'll get the breakout, or we'll get a breakout, then a throwback, then eventually the play out of the pattern. Or actually you could not even confirm this pattern. Actually, pattern traders only take out this trade once you confirm it. Once you come here into the breakout line, this is where they enter. And why? Because probabilities wise, you don't have the better edge if this does something like this. You could have the same structure and then do something like this, maybe even do something like that. But for pattern traders, what they say is that when you break the breakout line here, it's when you have the better odds in your favor of this actually performing. So I wanted to check out Doge. Let's see the 3-day. Interesting. 3 days going for the highest close since July 20. Printing strong positive momentum again on the MACD histogram. 59 on the RSI. So you're just less than 1 point away from the buyer's control zone. You reclaimed here $10 through, 10 cents through 11 cents. This inflection zone from the bull market and the bear market, you reclaim it. And you had like a local 3 rising valleys, but you also have somewhat of a major inverse head and shoulders potential here. Look at this left shoulder, then the head, and then the right shoulder right here. So that's interesting, but the most interesting thing to me was Doge BTC on the 3-day time frame, where you have a bullish shark harmonic. You are at the type 2 return down here, going for the highest 3-day close. Let's see, chat. To your highest 3-day close since July 20 on Doge BTC. And that's not everything, chat. If you pull out the Bollinger Bands, you're breaking out of the compression. You tried once, you failed on late September. Now again, you're trying to get a breakout once again on the 3-day time frame. I'm gonna show you this Bollinger Band width. You've been compressed for quite some time down here, chat, and usually Doge BTC doesn't stay compressed for that long on the Bollinger Band. So the Bollinger Bands looks poised for an expansion here, and since you're breaking to the upside, I'm gonna assume that the breakout will be to the upside here on Doge BTC, outperforming BTC. All right, let's go talking about pair trading. Let's go see others. Others against BTC. You're down 1.6%, going for the lowest daily candle close since September 18, chat. Also since the rate cut day, the FOMC, that the Federal Reserve announced a rate cut for the US dollar. You've been going for the lowest daily candle close since then. I think that the possibilities for another 50 basis point rate cut on the November FOMC has been declining, at least by market participant expectations. So the market's no longer expecting a 50 basis point rate cut on November, and that's why I think also others against BTC has been somewhat selling off. But I'll tell you this, Chad. Market expectations are one thing, and the Fed can do another thing. If they cut another 50 basis points, then I think that altcoins are going to go on a massive rally against BTC. And that could coincide with this massive bullish harmonic here, this massive bat here, bullish bat, going for a type 2 return. Just another, depends how you draw. This could be your basically your pattern completion zone, then your type 2, and then a potential type 3 return down here at the lows. So we said, I said here when we were looking at others BTC down here and said that was potentially going for a rally, we discussed this option. I talked about this, chat. I told you this could go maybe on a rally, get altcoins to outperform BTC, but they could draw a lower again to go for a confirmation low. And if we actually get this, Chad, I will shove into miners, any BTC that I have left, I'm gonna shove it into small caps, and set my stop loss down here. If we take out that level down there, okay, I'll submit to BTC once again, because if you fall below it, you'll be falling to some bear market lows from 2028 to 2020. 2018 throughout 2020. So you don't want to fall below 3.03 here on others against BTC. But if they actually bounce it here and go for another confirmation low, it could be a lower low, a higher low, I don't care. But if they hold this area, this value area here, and you start getting a reaction from it, boys, fasten your seatbelts, because this thing's gonna fly. And this is like the blueprint. This is what I always want to see on a pattern here, as a trader and as a TA guy who's looking for a framework to work on. This is what I want to see. I want to see a massive harmonic on a basically an inflection zone from history, and hopefully developing bullish divergence, or bearish in that case. Divergence not here yet. You did have it before. You had a bullish divergence here on this low. You're now losing the positive momentum here on the 3-day. I'm going for the 3-day lowest 3-day close in September 15. But maybe time will tell, and it could give us another potentially bullish divergence. Maybe they drop it a little bit lower down here and react it from here with another bullish divergence here on the MACD histogram, and you get the final, basically what we've been talking about, this setup. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you guys here. I'll show you like an exact setup of what could happen. So this is SUI, this altcoin, more likely than not. You have a massive bullish bad pattern here with a pattern completion zone here on D. This is basically your support, your critical inflection zone from history. Support, turn to resistance, then support again, support. And look at this, chat. They rallied out of the pattern completion zone, went into somewhat of a small high, like a lower high, and then the type 2 return down here, not losing the range here. You do have a wick down here, but basically a reaction with a type 2 return at a critical inflection zone. Look at what they did, chat. Fresh run up into all-time highs and into a harmonic highs here. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the framework that I'm looking for. A massive harmonic at a pattern completion zone, 886 retracement from lows to highs, so deep value area from lows to highs on SUI with a confirmation low down here. That's what what I will be looking for on others BTC. Will the market provide it? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, chat. If it actually comes, I think that possibilities will be on our side. Maybe they'll do the old SUI, take out of the lows down here, give everyone a scare, and then they'll run it up, you know. And we could go into range highs at 5 million here, or even 5.3 million. And if we enter a crazy bull market, you can start dreaming about higher targets, for, because why not, you know. But this is the reason why altcoins have been getting obliterated for the past, I don't know, 4 days. It's not like because of this, you know, but this represents the weakness on altcoins against BTC. This slightly lower high. And also, it's funny, but you do have somewhat of a local bullish bat here too. So the 886, it's like right there, D point here. So you have like a bullish bat, basically inception here. You have a massive bullish bat into a local bullish bat potentially on others against BTC. So maybe just maybe it'll be worth to bid this whole area here with somewhat of a stop loss down here against BTC, and ultimately if we get that reaction, your take profit, at least it will be for me at harmonic highs up here. So you'll be looking at let's see, more or less at around 70% gain against BTC and others. And if BTC is actually going to the upside, that would be an even better performance against USD. So yeah. Let's go see some other altcoins. So we looked at Doge, others. Let's see what other things been doing good today. Mostly red, as we said, you know. Others BTC just selling off. Even memes have been selling off too. Litecoin up 4.2% out of was it Litecoin, I think, like the ETF news? Yeah, going for the highest 3-day close since July 20. Was it July 17? Highest readings on the RSI since April, bro. Since like bull market things. Printing strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram. At a long-term support here, diagonal support, still below 200 moving average. Oh my God, look at this thing. Okay. Popcat's been doing things. We could talk about Popcat, because why not? Because why not, chat? Okay. It's going for a bullish engulfing candle and your highest daily candle close since Monday of this week. Printing strong negative momentum on the MACD histogram, but bouncing and reclaiming the 60-point area on the RSI on the daily. And look at this long-term ascending channel. It's like a Browning... how is this called? An ascending Browning wedge. Yeah, that's the name for it. So these are usually bullish, in my opinion. It represents an asset that the market has a bearish psychology about it, like a bearish bias, but ultimately has a lot of demand. We talked about this on resistance, and we said that it might be going for a pullback before going for the definitive breakout. So maybe now it's going to. I don't know, chat. Looks good. I'm going to see tomorrow if it catches any follow through to this bullish engulfing. But I'll tell you this, chat. It reminds me to what Punky did here before going insane. You know, ascending Browning wedge. Sold off about up here. Went for a higher low. And then ultimately a massive run into a parabolic expansion above here. So this is what I expect out of Popcat once it breaks out of that setup. The thing is, the real question here is, chat, are we here or are we here? You know? Because this one gave the higher low here. So I'm going to let you decide for you guys on that one. But you cannot deny the similarity here of the structure. It's just the thing is, are we done selling off against resistance, and this has too much demand to even put in like a higher low here, or will this do something like that, you know? So yeah, uh, it's crazy to see like decoupled strength on the market, you know, against BTC. Look at Bonk. You know, Bonk was doing things yesterday. Yesterday had a 8.5% today. I mean, yesterday bullish engulfing. Now today 8%, bamboozle bearish engulfing to the downside. What a joke, chat. Falling below the 200 moving average again. You do have somewhat of an inverted head and shoulders pattern here. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's gonna get confirmed or even it's gonna play out. But yeah, it's been really hard to find any kind of a strength lately in the market. Let's look at Retardio, because why not? It's up 4.5% today. It's just nothing burger candle. I'm actually in a Retardio trade that I entered like around here. I'm not gonna lie that I entered here. It's just here's my entry. But I want to tell you, I'm gonna show you guys somewhat of a secret of mine. I'm actually gonna pull it up on Deck Screener to what to do when you get like if you're still on a trade like this and you get a crazy sell-off, like a scary sell-off that you think that it's gonna do something like this, you know, or maybe like that, or it's gonna continue mooning, like you don't know what to do, you know, like maybe you took out some profits. I have not, by the way. Maybe you took out some profits coming up on the way here, which would be like the healthy thing to do. I'm gonna show you guys a little secret that I do when I get in such situations. Works for me. I don't know if it's gonna work for everyone. So I go into a 3-day time frame here, and what I basically do is I pull up the Bollinger Bands. Look at the 3-day time frame here. The breakout, you know, it was compressed, breakout, expansion, and as long chat that price doesn't like closes inside of the bands again, I think that you're safe. That's what I usually do, you know. Pull up the 3-day here, turn up the Bollinger Bands. So you actually tested the upper side of the bands here. You were inside of the bands for, hold on. You were inside of the bands for just a few hours, but then it had enough demand for it to just propel it higher and not get a 3-day close inside of the bands. Because look at what happens when you get a 3-day close inside of the bands. You know, you had the compression, the expansion. Okay, maybe this time you failed below inside of the bands. You came back down. You tested the moving average of the Bollinger Bands. Okay, another go. Expansion. You close outside of the bands. Close outside of the bands. Close outside of the bands. Look at how you went here from closing outside of the bands. Close inside of the bands. Death. You know. I don't know if I have any more examples here on Retardio. So this could like nuke either way. You know, I'm not saying that this is gonna continue mooning. All I'm saying is that when I'm overextended on a ticker that's doing some parabolic moves, you know, I usually turn on the Bollinger Bands, go to a higher time frame than the daily, usually the 3-day, the weekly, whatever you want, and look at how it's closing outside of the bands here, because usually 3-day closes or daily closes outside of the bands are super bullish. It's just there's a lot of basically buying pressure for it to do something like that. Maybe Bitcoin could give us another example here. Bitcoin has not been behaving that parabolic. Maybe Solana. Okay, Solana. For example, here. Close outside of the bands, outside of the bands, outside of the bands, outside of the bands, inside of the bands, pull back. Outside of the bands, outside of the bands, inside of the bands, pull back. In here, closes outside of the bands, outside of the bands, outside of the bands, outside of the bands, inside of the bands, pull back. You know? How's it going? Course Hawk 69. I don't know how to say your name. Yeah, we can take a look at ticker Bitcoin for sure. I had a good run on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10, the last couple of weeks. Let's see. So yeah, ticker Bitcoin, for example, closing outside of the bands here. So the strength. Going for a bullish engulfing candle. It's up 12% today. It's been on quite the expansion. This ticker will tell you that. This is on the Morad's meme list, I know, but who cares about Morad? This has been an OG meme. I remember trading this ticker last year and early this year too. Sometimes they call it like the meme coin BIX, like the volatility index of meme coins, because it's been going sideways for so long. But that might be over, chat. That might be over, Cars Hawk 69. I'm glad that you're still holding. I cannot promise you anything here, just looking at charts. But I tell you this, I exited this position and flipped to Retardio on some of those gains, because you had this tweezer top here at the top. Look at how the two wicks of this candle are identical, But that on itself is not enough for any concern. But when you get the follow through on the next daily close, that's when you get the confirmation of the weakness, and that's when I was out. But now you're recovering. You're going potentially for the highest low of this entire run. And what gave me confidence on ticker Bitcoin, man, is that you had such a deep base of accumulation that you've been ranging here, man, chat, for 447 days. That's insane. That's literally insane. Not much of the new meme coins can say anything like that. I don't even think that Pepe can say that. Maybe Pepe, but not even WEF, Bonk, whatever has this kind of a huge base for consolidation. So yeah, look at this too. Another bullish bias for ticker Bitcoin. This is the bi-weekly time frame, 2-week chart. Look at this on the RSI. I know you don't have that much data, but you have a hidden bullish divergence here. This is very real. This is very much real, man. You have a higher low here in the chart, and a lower low on the RSI on the oscillators, which this implies, by the way, bullish continuation. When you get a hidden bullish divergence, that's a divergence that implies continuation of the trend. And the long-term trend for the 2-week on ticker Bitcoin is clearly to the upside, man. You're actually flashing positive Momo here for the first time since August 2024. But this hitting bullish divergence that you have here just looks great. And you also are on the 60 points area on the RSI. You're in the bullish control zone on the bi-weekly. So unless something happens, man, you know how meme coins go, how crypto behaves. But if Btc.D, not ticker Bitcoin, continues to do its thing, if you saw the beginning of the string, you'll know my thesis for it. If BTC continues to behave, doesn't rock pull, and keeps slowly grinding higher, whatever we go into price discovery, this thing, man, it's poised for a parabolic run, in my opinion. I might cope because I don't hold any of it right now. I might hop in later, or even tonight, I don't know. Depends. But the 2-week, man, looks insane on that hidden bullish divergence. And you're actually breaking out of the Bollinger Bands here. You had somewhat of a compression. You're going for the highest 2-week close ever. So this right here, when I saw this on the 2-week, I was like, God damn, man. Hitting bullish divergence here. You have a higher low in price here. This low is higher than the low from January 2024, but the RSI was lower, man. What is implied here? Cars Hawk 69. What is implied here is that sellers tried their best. They put down so much momentum and energy into selling ticker Bitcoin. Sellers relentlessly tried to push ticker Bitcoin down, and all they could do was a higher low. So that's like bullish continuation divergence, man. The thing is, I don't know who has the patience for waiting on a 2 week time frame trade. This could take a few months to play out, or maybe it goes fast. I don't know, but this is implying on the RSI and on structure, this massive accumulation here throughout 440 days plus. This is implying that this will go higher. And sadly, I don't have any volume here on TradingView. I'm gonna pull it up here. Let's see the volume. So you're seeing high volume coming in here. This is bullish. Like I've seen some other tickers that I'm not gonna be mentioning names. They have somewhat of the same structure here than ticker Bitcoin. They're doing like the same thing, ranging for 500 days. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and they're close to breaking out of, but they don't have the volume coming in. The volume confluence here is huge. This is what you want to see, otherwise I would fade it. If you didn't have this volume here, I wouldn't be I don't know, just too excited about the setup. How's it going? B Elon Musk. Vamos Milei. Yeah, Milei's the chat. So on the 3-day, which we will be closing in less than 30 minutes, just a nothing burger. You had a bullish engulfing on the previous 3-day close into the highest 3-day close ever on ticker Bitcoin, and now you're just chilling. You're down 7%, and like I said with Retardio, you're closing outside of the Bollinger Bands here, man. It's cleaner on Retardio. You're a little bit above the Bollinger Bands, but either way, you're closing above the Bollinger Bands. So, yeah, that's your ticker Bitcoin. Oh, thanks for the kind words, man. I really appreciate them. I really enjoy doing the streams myself too. I really love TA trading, especially crypto. Volatility it provides, the fact that it allows anyone in the world with an internet connection to go trade these assets, and potentially turn their life around for the positive thing. I mean, for the positive side of things, like maybe make money, whatnot. So anyone out there, I think it's beautiful. So yeah, if you like the streams, remember to turn on notifications so you'll know where I'm going live. Either way, you can watch them on replay later. But I go live every day, Monday through Friday, at around 6 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Usually going live anywhere in between an hour or 2 hours before the daily candle close. So you'll know that you can find me on live here throughout those days. So it's crazy to see that kind of strength in the market on meme coins, whereas you don't have it on the rest of the altcoins, man. Look at SPX 6900. First 3-day close since basically the parabolic expansion started on September 9. You didn't have a single red 3-day close, not even one. This is your first one, and actually traders are battling out right now whether this will be a bearish engulfing candle or not. I don't think it matters that much right now if it will be an engulfing or not, because what you want to see when you get an engulfing is the follow through. What it will happen on, for example, on the Sunday close, the next 3-day close, will it be green, red? If it's red and then the next candle closes red, then it's a little bit more concerning. But what I do think here about SPX 6900, man, I'll tell you this: I don't think that this one's gonna pull off a Mudeng. I don't think that this is gonna go down heavily. I mean, you're like 100x higher for sure. Can it do this? Something like this? For sure. That's usually what happens. But, and I'm gonna show you Mudeng. I'm sure you've seen Mudeng. So I think everyone thinks that this is what's going to happen with SPX 6900. hear me out. I think that's gonna do somewhat of a doge. You know, what do I mean by that? I think it's gonna range. You know, I don't think it's gonna come back down and do that. Possibilities are to the side of it doing that. Actually, you know, if I had to toss a coin, I would, if I had to bet money on it, I would more likely bet on this. But what I do think is going to happen, you know, dubiously speculating, I think it's going to do somewhat of a range, you know, something like that for some time. Or you could continue going higher, who knows. But I'm gonna show you in Doge. Because I think that this is a way stronger community than the Mudeng, you know. This didn't go into 30x in a span of 2 weeks out of nothing. You know, usually when you get a Mudeng, you know, this didn't exist on September 5th. Mudeng wasn't a thing, you know. How's it going, Benz? My boy, hope you're feeling better. Yeah. 99% of shitcoins have died, of course, because Bitcoin dominance and others against BTC getting destroyed. So Mudeng actually is dying, you know, like you're like here on SPX 6900 or here, whatever. You know, I don't think it's gonna pull like here. I think it's gonna continue doing like stuff like that above there, you know, because there's a strong community. They could have sold way before here. And I think that like the same community that Doge had here in the past, I think it's gonna do something like this, you know. Not here, like here. I think this is what you will get maybe with XPX 6900. I don't see it doing like that, you know. I see if it's not gonna continue going, I see a range rather than death on SPX 6900. But that's me, man. That's me. Let's see Pepe, because why not? Since we're talking about meme coins, Pepe's down 5.5%. Let's see what's doing. Oh my god. So you can say the same thing about Pepe that did mem here. It did like a 30x, you know. Started pulling back. Had a strong sell-off here, but didn't give the 100% gains back, you know. It's just continued to range and actually went into an all-time highs afterwards. I think you're right, Benz. I think you're right. Most 99% of the memes will die. I'm hopefully looking at one which will not die, you know, Pepe. I think it's like an internet culture thing. It could maybe become a long-term thing like Doge. But yeah, meme coins will fall into irrelevancy for sure. But we might as well trade them while they're hot. So going for a bearish engulfing candle here. Lowest daily candle close since October 13. Printing strong negative momentum once again on the MACD histogram. This rejection of 1,085 out of a penny here doesn't seem that good, you know, and it's actually a lower high regarding this one. So yeah, next support lies at the 200 moving average. If you lose the 200, 903 is your level here. This is a big level right here. It's been regarded as support, I mean as resistance coming from above, and as support coming from below, and as support coming from above. For sure, right? Yeah, well, getting emotionally attached to it would imply that you have a huge bag on it. That's how I would get emotionally attached to it if I become an investor or like a community member out of these coins, you know. But you're right. You're right. I tend to look at this meme coin season like the NFT season of 2020 and 2021 that lasted almost until 2022, right? Crazy gains, you know, NFT collections launching left and right every day. People making crazy gains on the timeline, you know, crazy screenshots. Normies, you know, aping into NFTs, you know, normie collaborations with NFTs. You know, that's what you're seeing right now with memes. You know, you're seeing celebrities coming in, rug pulling memes. You know, others trying to stay on bail like Iggy Azalea. And eventually the volume on NFTs dried off. 99% of the collections went almost to zero. Zero trading volume of them on OpenSea, you know, and just, I don't know, like 10 of them basically survive. And the thing that you have to remember, chat, also, you can launch any meme coin any other day. You know, it's like your meme coin could become old. You know, like they could launch the next hot thing tomorrow, and maybe, I don't know, just Retardio doesn't get as important as I think it'll be, for example. Or a year from now, like Vince is saying, you know, like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, who knows what XPX 6900 will be doing? You know, will it become like a strong meme coin? You know, like strong, for example, NFTs like Milady's have become. You know, like like a cult. You know, like Milady's, or I don't know, like what else? Punks, Pudgy Penguins. You know, will they actually survive or will they die off? And that's something that you cannot know. So it's a dangerous game to play for in the long term, that's for sure. So let's see the 3-day on Pepe here. 3-day looks fine. Not going for a bearish engulfing candles. You're fine completely. Printing lower positive momentum in the MACD histogram. Let's see the Bollinger Bands here. Whoops. So my Bollinger Band custom indicator is flashing a sell-off signal, like a selling signal here, but I wouldn't take that much into consideration, because this usually works better on an uptrend. You know, when you're uptrending rather than ranging, and you're ranging here. So usually my indicator fails when you get it on ranging conditions. But you can see here on this one played out. On this one, didn't quite not. This one went into a lower band, actually hit the target, hit the take profit on my indicator. So yeah, Bollinger Bands seem fairly good. You know, it just went on a second impulse against the bands, actually like a third impulse against the upper band, and sold off going into it and closed below the bands again. So not great. You know, it's not the best. This potentially could become another low high regarding the previous high, which would be awful, you know, for Pepe and whatever, and you could come back all the way down here. You know, if you don't hold it here, then something like that. Ultimately, I think it's going to rely on BTC. If BTC goes for the breakout, then I think this could hold here, and whatever, maybe just go sideways for a bit. Any more requests on the chat here? Popcat almost going for highest of the day. Look at the 3-day here on Popcat, man. Completely absorbing that selling. Quite good. Okay. So I've been going on for over an hour here, chat. Daily candle close and 3-day close will be closing in less than 9 minutes. So you already know what's going to happen. 3-day, just to recapitulate a little bit. 3-day, it's building stronger positive momentum once again. Going for another close above the breakout line on the accumulation pattern on the MACD histogram. So yeah, I'm going by the 3-day closes. I think they're more reliable. Everything else is noise for me. I'll be doing a stream tomorrow. Also, I'll be going live a little bit earlier at around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to come live, talk some shop, look at some charts, please do. So thanks for tuning in. I hope that you guys have a great night. I hope that I'll continue to see you guys here. Remember to smash that like button on the way out if you have not. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.